You ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
This exciting football season continues to steamroll ahead, and for this season, Keek on the Mic has teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook. If you love the thrill of live betting just like I do, DraftKings has you covered all season long. Check this out, football fans. New customers can turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. It's that simple at DraftKings Sportsbook. Not only that, you will also get 3 months of NBA League Pass on DraftKings Sportsbook. What can I say? DraftKings Sportsbook is really coming with some heat this season and is taking their game to a whole new level. So if you want to get in on the fun this season with NFL, NBA, plus more, make sure you click the link down below in the description of today's video and use my promo code KEEK. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. First and foremost, Bears fans, happy Tuesday to every single one of you guys. I wanted to come on here really quick on today's episode of Keek on to Mic just to talk a little bit more about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears and how Bears head coach Ben Johnson fiercely defended Caleb Williams prior to the 30-16 loss over the Baltimore Ravens. Once again, Ben Johnson joined Jeff Joniak, the voice of the Chicago Bears, on ESPN 1000 to talk about the loss to the Ravens and even to talk about quarterback Caleb Williams. And during this interview, he defended his quarterback, which that's what you expect from your head coach. He still has a bunch of belief in Caleb Williams. And he says after watching the All-22, after watching the tape of the loss to the Baltimore Ravens, Caleb Williams did not look as bad as, this Bears Twitter analyst would tell you that he looked during that game, and that he's actually taking the right steps forward to becoming a very good quarterback in the National Football League. Check this out, Bears fans.
The thing is, you look at it in this particular game, and yeah, we didn't score the points. We didn't do enough to win. The stat line, no touchdowns, one interception. I got it. He played better this game than I think he had the previous two. When you look at it, all 60 minutes. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but I actually came away from watching the tape this morning encouraged that we took a step in the right direction here this week. And I know some people, it's hard to maybe rationalize that because the result wasn't there. But yet I saw tangible growth from him. He's working his ass off. I don't even know if I can say that, Jeff. I apologize. But he is. He is. It's the truth. He's working his tail off. And so I think this thing's going to continue to slow down for him. I think it did to a degree in this game. He did have a couple mistakes that we'll learn from. But no, I came away more encouraged watching the tape than maybe I felt coming off the field yesterday.
Once again, Bears fans, the reason why I wanted to show you guys this clip of Ben Johnson talking to Jeff Joniak about quarterback Caleb Williams, because after that game where Caleb Williams threw for 258 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, and definitely had that terrible interception in a scenario where the Bears could have drove down and taken the lead. It was a very bad interception. Ben Johnson knows that. Caleb Williams knows that. They're going to work towards getting better so he doesn't make the same mistakes twice. But the reason why I wanted to show you this clip from Ben Johnson talking to Jeff Joniak is because after the game, you would think that the season was over for the Chicago Bears. You would think that Caleb Williams was one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League, or he was a bust, or it wasn't going to work out in Chicago. But Ben Johnson said otherwise. After watching the tape, he says that Caleb Williams actually looked really good. And when you do look at the tape, outside the interception, Caleb Williams did look good. It did look like he took a step forward. For example, one of the final plays of that loss to the Ravens, people were talking about that throw to DJ Moore in the back of the end zone. But when you watch it, DJ Moore stopped running his route. It looks like Caleb Williams was throwing to an open window. So at the end of the day, I like to use this Bill Belichick saying, Do your job. You guys remember how Bill Belichick with the New England Patriots always told his players, do your job. Of course, Caleb Williams is going to take most of the blame because he is the quarterback. The Chicago Bears have high expectations of him. He is a number 1 overall pick. So the expectations are going to be high for Caleb Williams. But when you're really watching the tape, it does look like Caleb Williams is continuing to show progress. At the same time, like we keep preaching time and time again to the people that are kind of giving up on Caleb Williams way too soon. This is going to be a process. Ben Johnson's offense is very complex, but at the end of the day, as a Bears fan, I am going to continue to trust head coach Ben Johnson that he's going to continue to develop Caleb Williams the right way. And once again, we just have to have patience with Caleb Williams. Once again, these next couple of weeks for not only Ben Johnson, not only for the Bears offense, but Caleb Williams are going to be absolutely crucial to put him in a situation where he can gain momentum for the tough stretch of the season. The next couple of games, you're going against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, the Giants defense, and the Steelers defense. All 3 of these defenses have not been good all season long. When you're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals defense, they're 31st in passing yards a game, 32nd in points per game. Bo Nix put up 326 passing yards and 2 passing TDs. Justin Fields and the New York Jets just put up 39 points. And I hate to, use those numbers as comparison because once again, every matchup is different. I am just using that as references that the Cincinnati Bengals defense has not been good all season long. So Caleb Williams has the opportunity. Ben Johnson has the opportunity. The Chicago Bears offense has the opportunity to have a big bounce back day on offense against the Cincinnati Bengals. Then you take on the New York Giants defense, and they have a pretty good pass rush, but their secondary has also been very terrible. They're 24th in passing yards and 27th in points per game. Once again, another opportunity for Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, this Bears offense to gain some momentum and hopefully get things clicking over the next couple of weeks. And then the Steelers defense. They have a lot of veterans. They also have a very good pass rush, but at the same time, there's a lot of older guys on that Steelers defense. Their secondary also hasn't been very good. In the past 2 games have given up 924 yards and also 68 points allowed in the last 2 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So when you look at the next 3 weeks for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense against the Bengals, Giants, and Steelers, there's definitely opportunities there, but at the same time, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense has to do their job, and they have to execute and try to score when they get in the red zone, because that is the big thing, is that they are getting down there. They are just not finishing drives. For example, the last game against the Baltimore Ravens, they were there in 3 separate occasions. They went 1-3 in the red zone, and they also have to clean up the mental mistakes, the little errors, the penalties, right? So overall, I am not giving up on Caleb Williams. For anyone that has any, second thoughts on Caleb Williams about him being our long-term franchise quarterback, continue to listen to the guy that's developing him, and that is Ben Johnson. As a Bears fan, I'm going to continue to trust Ben Johnson. So Bears fans, let me know down below in the comment section if you still believe in Caleb Williams as our long-term franchise quarterback. I cannot wait to hear from you guys. Bears fans, before I let you guys go on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, just want to show you some new data that suggests that the Chicago Bears are kind of being screwed by the National Football League. Obviously, Ben Johnson came to the forefront after that Baltimore Ravens game where, once again, penalties have been killing the Chicago Bears. And he called out the team captains, the team leaders, told them that they need to be accountable to lead the team. And, they've been stressing about, hey, the little things. We have to clean up the penalties. And at the end of the day, it does come up to the team leaders. But also, Ben Johnson has been very accountable for the penalties as well. But new data suggests that the Chicago Bears could be potentially being screwed by the National Football League. Per NFLpenalties.com, the Bears have been flagged 64 times for 533 yards, which is second highest per game in penalty count in the league. But when you look at the Bears' opponents, they have only been flagged 36 times for 254 yards, second lowest per game count in the league. So this is a lot of conspiracy theories here. Once again, for some reason, it seems like the Chicago Bears are being picked on in terms of the NFL officials. And there is definitely some calls that are accurate. You think about false starts, holding calls, illegal formations, but then there's also been a lot of bad calls as well. A couple of offensive pass interferences on Colston Loveland, a couple of illegal contacts on the defense, pass interferences on the defense. It happens time to time. But when you look at this, according to NFLpenalties.com, and it shows that the Chicago Bears are a heavily penalized team, there's a lot of calls that were not accurate. And of course, Ben Johnson's Chicago Bears have submitted their complaints to the league, and they've gotten responses from the league saying, hey, yeah, that was a bad call. They shouldn't have called that. You guys are definitely right there. That shouldn't have been called. And of course, I wish the NFL would hold their officials more accountable when they make these mistakes, rather they get fined or something like that. And I know the NFL will never do that, but I definitely think they need to hold the referees more accountable. But this stat is very significant. And in a quick and a hurry, Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears have to clean up the penalties. Whether it's your fault or not, whether the referees are picking on you or not, you as a team have to clean up these mental mistakes, because it's going to be really hard to win football games when you are having this many penalties. The Chicago Bears have about 9 penalties per game. So yes, Ben Johnson, the leaders of this football team, the organization has to clean up the penalties, and they've been winning despite of these penalties. They're currently 4-3, but it's going to be really hard to consistently build a winner and consistently win football games when you have this many penalties every single week. So Bears fans, let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about the Chicago Bears being penalized 64 times for 533 yards compared to their opponents being penalized 36 times for 254 yards. I cannot wait to hear from you guys. But other than that, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for an all new Bears podcast right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
Cali the shot town is Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the Mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.